Sorry about that, it cut off. That's weird. I guess it didn't say storage is full or anything. So I'm presuming it just cuts off after a certain amount of time. It was like 22 minutes. It's an odd amount of time though. So just in case it really is getting low on space, I just want to finish off. So anyway, so yeah. So that's the story of what happened. And that is also the story about why I won't go out in my therian gear, even a wolf hat like this anymore, around my area, my general area. It's a shame because I like wearing it and I think I should be able to. But I don't appreciate when fellow therians kind of like have a go at me and accuse me of being ashamed, because that's what that pack leader of my old pack basically said. She said that I was acting like I was ashamed to be a therian, and that's why I wasn't talking to people about it, telling people, going out wearing my therian gear. So it's not really about being ashamed, it's about trying not to attract trouble. I don't really care about being judged. All I care about is not being harassed. I don't mind if I wear something and someone just looks at me and thinks it's weird, but then they don't bother me. Or, I tell someone about the therian deal and they did like what those people did and rolled their eyes or whatever they did that, or looked at each other or looked at me like I was insane. Like, that doesn't bother me. What I'm trying to avoid is like being harassed at my own house, because that was awful. Those years, because it was years, continuously, of being harassed and bullied in my own house and my own garden, and having stuff wrecked, our property wrecked, and our stuff in the garden wrecked. That was horrendous. It wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't fun. And as much as it might sound bad, because most people will say, well, it's about being brave, it's about taking a chance, and you can't always just be cautious all of the time, because they always say that, in these, self-help seminars, they always say about how your body, brain, and instincts are designed to keep you safe and help you survive. They're not designed to make you successful. So it's people who go outside of their comfort zone and they take leaps and chances. They're the people who are more likely to succeed. And believe me, over the years I've put myself out there, I have taken chances, I have been brave, I've been confident, I've gone outside of my survival, comfort, safe instincts. And all it has gotten me was being a social pariah, an outcast in my own neighborhood. Now that sounds pessimistic. It sounds like I'm telling you guys, don't. Like maybe I'm setting a bad example. I'm actually not. I'm not saying don't take a chance. I'm not saying don't wear your therian gear outside or talk to people about it. I'm saying, do it cautiously, do it gradually, test the waters first. Don't do what I did. I pushed. I didn't just dip my toe in a bit, taking a chance. I leaped forward and I pushed and pushed. Despite the fact that I got bad reactions, I still continued to do it, and it just got worse and worse and worse. It's just my area. Your area might be different. You guys' area and the people in it might be more tolerant. So that's why I'm saying don't be afraid to try. Dip your toe and see what kind of area you have. And if you don't know, like I say, just go out wearing a wolf hat or ears. To be honest with you, I've got good reactions. I have gotten a lot of good reactions from wearing, these animal hats, wolf hat, ears, tail. I have gotten good reactions from dressing like that differently and everything. Just dressing differently. Most people don't have a problem with it. Dressing like a wolf, wearing therian gear, most people don't have a problem with it. In fact, they like it. And most of the people that I met when I was out and about on a regular basis would be actually quite disappointed if I wasn't wearing my ears. my little wolf ears, especially, or any wolf ears. So people would be quite disappointed, like, oh, why aren't you wearing your ears and stuff. So yeah, so there are people who like it. The people who unfortunately ruin it is these hooligan kids that don't just judge me. They actively harass and bully, damage property. You know, they're actually making it very difficult for me. But your area, there might be no people like that. There might be people who just judge you silently, which I wouldn't give a shit about, and I'd expect you to not really give a shit about it. You know, just do it anyway. So I am encouraging people to do whatever they want, dress however they want, as long as it's not hurting anyone. And test the waters first. If people like it, then keep doing it. If you start getting shit for it, but it's not critical shit, like they're not harassing you at your own home or someplace you go regularly, then, you know, that's fine as well. Like if you just get a little bit of like some comments from random strangers while you're out, you know, that wouldn't bother me. So that, you know, isn't too bad. Like I say, it's getting constantly harassed in your own home and garden. That's what I'm trying to avoid, and that's what I would recommend you avoid. So my advice is, yes, test the waters, test your area, see what it's like first. Don't dive into it and just start howling all over the place and shit. I mean, I did act like a wolf in front of those kids in the beginning. Remember, I was a kid then, you know. I did do it in the beginning and howled in front of them and growled and barked and did run at them when they were on the wall trespassing and stuff and they were being nasty to me. But that was only when they were being nasty to me and I was trying to be brave and I was trying to be intimidating. I was trying to get them away. But once I learned that just made things worse, I stopped doing that. And again, it's not because I was a weirdo or a psychopath, it was just for fun, really. It was part for fun and part to scare them off. So it's not me being delusional, weird, psychopath, whatever. But like I say, that day, that boy called me a psychopath, and I'm like, I thought that I was acting like a psychopath, I will admit, but then when I watched the video back, I was actually quite calm and quiet. He was the one being very loud, screaming, shouting, threatening to beat me up and hit me and stuff. He's the one who... Because I was actually quite ill, so this is probably why I was more docile. I didn't feel docile. I did feel like I was giving it some welly, like I was shouting and screaming back. But I was actually quite ill, so I was like kind of more docile. Yeah, I wasn't very well. I don't feel so great right now. I've got a dry, scratchy throat and a bit of a sore throat. Ugh. So I was like that at the time. So I couldn't believe it when I watched the video back and saw how docile and quiet I was and held back and calm. In comparison to him, I thought, whoa, he's the one acting like the psychopath. Threatening me, spitting at me, shouting and screaming. I mean, he actually sounded like a little child having a tantrum most of the time, the way he was shouting and screaming. Calling me a liar and stuff when they did stuff bad first before I started recording. They also act like psychopaths when they're trying to manipulate me and bully me and kind of intimidate me in that psychological way I talked about before. They're also acting like psychopaths when they pretend to be scared of me, scream and run off. That's also quite weird. And also when they're so concerned about being recorded because they've done the bad deed, that they try and make me look and feel bad about recording when they're the ones doing the actual bad deeds. My recording doesn't really affect them, other than if they've done bad deeds, it might get them arrested or found out. You know, that's it really. That's the only bad deed I've done. But that's only bad for them, not really bad for anybody else. Most people would thank me for sort of catching a criminal on camera. Catching a criminal, but on camera. Not literally. Helping them to be caught. And then, when I started calling people's bullshit out from around here on my other channel, on videos and live streams, people got nasty with me around that time as well. And they made me feel bad, like I was the bad one for doing that. But then, I did feel bad at the time and thought, oh, maybe I am the weird one, maybe I'm the one that's not very... whatever the word I'm looking for is, like, I thought, oh, maybe my social skills are just really crap. Maybe I am just, like, weird and whatever. But then I thought, wait a minute. Why am I being made to feel bad? They're the ones who have done the bad thing in order for me to sort of expose them in the first place on these videos, on my channel and stuff. They're the ones that have done the bad thing, and they're the ones trying to make me look and feel bad about it. Look bad to other people and feel bad about it, so I'll stop. So they're trying to manipulate me into stopping. Like, stopping recording, stopping exposing people, like, via screenshots or whatever. Because I've had people talk to me in derogatory ways and perverted ways and bad ways, and then I've kind of taken screenshots or video screen recordings, and uploaded them for all to see. And then they tried to make me look bad about it, like saying, oh, you're the one, like, doing this and that and the other slander, and you're showing me online, like, you couldn't even see their full name or picture. But they kept threatening to sue me and stuff, take me to court. And I was a bit shaken up at the time, and when they kept going on about it, I did take the videos down, and on one occasion the YouTube took them down, because obviously they'd reported it. And then they sort of gloated afterwards, saying, ha, I'm your boss, I made you take the videos down. I'm like, no, you're not. They've still been up for quite a long time, and quite a number of people have seen them, because I have more subscribers on that channel, so quite a number of people had seen them before they were taken down, so they will be as good as exposed. And there's nothing stopping me from uploading them somewhere else, or on the same place in the future, or on another channel like this one. I'm not going to, but nothing's stopping me from doing that. Like, they wouldn't be able to find it. Like, hopefully the people around here don't know about this channel, and never will. But yeah, I just realised, like, recently, like, I'm being made to feel bad about recording people and exposing people. Like, even my neighbour said, oh, people... Because I was going on about how people don't like me because of that. And she was like, oh, people don't dislike you or hate you or whatever. It's just that they're afraid to get close to you because you might talk smack about them on YouTube. And I explained to her, I said, they don't have to fear that, because I'll only do it if they do wrong. And if they do wrong, then they deserve it, really. They deserve to be exposed for being assholes. And even I actually threatened, well, I haven't really threatened this, but I was planning on doing, to sort of expose the people in this town for being assholes anyway. My town. So of course people don't want that. So they're going to make me try and feel bad about that. To stop me from doing it, but... Yeah, so basically I should really think about having leverage over them, really, not feeling like the shit one, because they obviously don't want to be exposed for being bullies and stuff. And it makes the town look bad, doesn't it? You know, it makes my town look bad if everyone in it is a, you know, bully and harassing and, like, committing crimes and stuff. So of course they don't want to be exposed for that. So of course they're going to have a go at me and put me down. And I believed it for a while. I believed I was the bad one. Well, you know... Like, it didn't make sense in my head that I was the bad one. But I thought, well, the majority can't be wrong, because the majority of people, and it happens every time, like every time I do this, every time I record people, I always get shit for it. And what have you. So because it happens every time it happens, and the majority of people seem to do it, I think, well, the majority must be right then. I must be the one that's bad. And not normal. But now I'm thinking, that's not true. I'm just exposing these people for the nasty bastards that they are. And they don't like that, so they're trying to actually manipulate me into stopping by making me feel like I'm the bad person. So that's what I have to deal with around here. Can't believe it. It's like kind of being... dare I say it, in an abusive relationship without actually being in an abusive relationship. It's like I'm in an abusive relationship with the town. Like, they all try and keep me down somehow. When I try and rise up and expose them for, well, individual people, not the whole town, but these individual people for being buttholes, they try and put me down again. And every time I gain any kind of confidence like I did last year, so I became more confident last year than like I have been in the past. Because I started wearing my tail and ears outside and stuff, as you know. And people it felt like people were trying to push me down again. And my mum reckons I was just too much. And people don't know how to handle me. And now I'm thinking, I don't really think that that's the case. I think that people are just trying to put me down when I'm up. And that's it. That's all it's about. And she should know that more than ever. Because she's been treated the same. She's been abused. And she knows what it's like. She knows what the psychology is like of these people. So she should realise that that's been happening to me. But instead of it being by one person, it's like collective, like a few people. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's my story. I think I've always felt it was important to record things. I've always felt like it's important to tell my story, even though everybody, including my mum and dad, used to say people don't need to know your life story. They don't need to know this stuff. Like, no one's gonna care. There's no purpose to it. Don't do it. You know, be a private person like they are. And don't record because people get up in arms about it. But I always felt like I should tell my story. I should record. Like, it's like an instinct that I should do these things, even though it goes against logic, because every time I do these things I get shit for it. My mum says, like, don't tell people too much about me because they could use it against you. But on the contrary,